Welcome everyone. This is another video in the BongClouding the bots. I've made it through the beginner bots without any hiccups. Okay, some of them were starting to hit me with some E4 F5, which made the BongCloud a little bit suspicious. But we are now on to the intermediate ones, which should be a better challenge for sure. Because I expect these bots to be more difficult instead of doing the first half, second half. I'm actually just going to be doing 5. There are 15 bots in total, so this will take a bit, but we are making our way. Thus far, BongCloud successful, even though I'm playing a bad opening. Principles have won over breaking principles. So we continue, and 10-minute games like normal, starting with Maria. E4, E5. Okay, King E2. Show me what you got. Queen E7. Oh, I thought the intermediate bots would be better than bringing the queen out this early. But maybe not. Oh, maybe Knight F6. So I play Knight F3. There's this funny idea with trying to play like D5, E4, really break it open quickly. I was going to say fastly. Quickly would be the word for that. Okay, let me go D3. I'm on to you, Maria. See your tricks. Okay, let's go for the true. Do I have to? No, I think I should be fine. I have knight here to cover G4. E4 is still a little scary, but I think I'll just bring my bishop out. Actually, maybe I want to play F3. I like knight F3, but that trying to get that one tempo against this bishop, since I'm in such danger, and to try and weaken E4 potential, I think it's worth it. Okay, now we bring the bishop out, cover all these open dark squares. I've put all my pawns on light squares. The dark squares are open, so that should be quite good. Greedily hold on to the pawn. I think I should. I don't have to, but I think I should. And now we're getting to a better place. King F2. I've found this setup to be fine in a lot of these. Ooh, F5 is actually a pretty solid try, you know, with some F4 annoyances. So let's ooh, okay, let's contend against this with G3. The intermediate bot's not playing around. I'm gonna have to really lock in as we get into the harder and harder difficulties. Okay, I'm still annoyed about F4, so I think I want to contest with playing F4 myself. I don't like the fact that I haven't been able to develop. I've been very responsive, but I kind of feel like I've had to be with just the amount of pawn pushing and kind of opening up the position that the bot is doing against me. And I think now we should be set. Now we should be set. Knight's coming out. I was only thinking about Queen C5, so that sucks a little bit. And I might be losing this pawn. But we're gonna take the king on an adventure here. We're gonna go King G2. I could trade. Trading makes sense. But as weird as it looks, H3 feels pretty solid. The bishop's blocking this pawn from ever moving. The knight's guarding the squares really well. This is a absolute wild decision. I'm gonna play King H3. I'm gonna do it. Try and keep queens on the board because this king is also in the center. Okay, G5 being prepared. It makes me feel like I should pin this bishop just to prevent like G5, take, bishop takes, take, and some check. Okay, Queen A3, pretty solid move as well. I really want to keep this blocked, so. Okay. Now time to counterattack, start bringing my pieces in. don't think I'm too worried about this pawn because I'm going after the king, although castling is still a possibility. Maria here. And the queen guards the bishop. That's actually a really nice move. So I'm gonna get a little fancy. I'm gonna play rook d1, offering this pawn, but also looking at like a rook d3. Okay. I think follow through on this idea. Rook d3. Yeah, chase that queen. Queen should have dropped back, but I will take it. You know, Maria, it's about time you started playing like a freaking intermediate bot instead of whatever has been. Actually, the first time a bot I feel like has kind of punished me for playing the BongCloud. Beginner bots definitely didn't do it at all. Okay, this would be checkmate threat, but then I allow f4. Okay, so bishop e5, f4, king h4, take also with check, but then I block with the rook. I think that's solid. I'm gonna go for it. This is just too strong of a mate threat. Cannot guard this pawn, and you cannot block with the rook because I can take. This is wild, though. I'm putting my king on h4. Oh, okay, wait. So take, there's some rook f4 ideas. Maybe take, then rook f4, take, try and take there. I could just take. Oh no, queen g4. Oh, queen g4 exists. That's checkmate. What am I? I'm hallucinating. Apparently, today is not my day. I don't know. Maria's locked in, but I'm also like trying to blunder mate in one. Apparently, can we do it? Can we continue the run of the king down the board? That feels a little crazy. Yeah, we should just draw back. That's what a reasonable, responsible person would do. I, in fact, am not reasonable and responsible all the time. Sometimes. Now, funny enough, if I go here, then it's a check back and forth. So we're actually going to drop back. There's no... All my pieces are on dark squares for the most part. So the discovery potential is a lot lower. Okay, we're back to being reasonable. We're back to being responsible. King has found its way back to its starting square. And there is the checkmate finally. Oh, what a game. What a way to start the intermediate bots. What a way to start it. That was a bit too intense. I think, yeah, I underestimated some of those pawn pushes. You know, pushing the pawns to open up the center or try to open up the center. Definitely a lot more dangerous than previous games. Okay, we have Maxime here. I don't think Maxime could possibly be as good as Maria. Maria, that was best bot game so far. Okay, another kind of pawn push opening it up. So it's definitely some improvement. I mean, this is a good way of going about it. You know, don't just push pawns recklessly, but pawns are there to open up the position. So using that to go after my king in the center, great idea. Now I'm smelling some threats. Whoa, Maxime! I had a threat. Give me a royal fork. Oh my goodness, king, rook, and queen. Oh my gosh. That is a queen. Thank you. Let's quickly kick this knight out. I don't know what it's doing, but I just want it out of my face. Okay. Let's bring the bishop out. That's a check. And let's create some problems for the king. Hit the rook first. Now knight g5. I want to open up this bishop. So let's do it. Put the king on f3. We have a super solid structure. So this feels totally fine. Bring the bishop out. What is the next step though? Okay, I don't want any knight d4. That would be annoying. So let's make the trade. Now let's bring the rooks in. We need more firepower for the checkmate. The rooks are a great way to do it. So yeah, now I think it's time. Knight takes e6. I think we have the firepower. Queen d8. And I could just play queen c7. That's pretty straightforward, but let's be fancy with it. Sacrifice the rook. And now the bishop and queen, absolute control and checkmate. Okay, that one was better. I was getting a little worried with the fact that Maria 1000 rated was giving me a hard time. Hans rated 1000. Okay, wait. This isn't secretly Hans Niemann. I mean, you can't see the hair because of the beanie, but hopefully I'm not about to get destroyed. Okay, so this is a huge improvement. The intermediate bot's really trying to open up the position with my king on e2. That's actually crazy to see. This is not a huge rating change, but they are definitely doing this a lot better. I can't just develop my pieces and win as easily as I was with the beginner bots. Okay, that is a threat, but I'm thinking 94 would just guard everything and hit the queen and bishop, so it feels like a great way to relieve some of this pressure. I don't think I take... I don't like taking the bishop because then the queen is going to hit this pawn. But this is a very powerful bishop. And f5 is on the docket at some point to go after my knight. I think I'd do it. I think even though this pawn is probably not long for this life anymore, the dark square pressure is too much. And whoa! Okay, they are still intermediate bots, apparently. Instead of taking a pawn, just letting this pawn absolutely hammer through. What the heck? Okay, not entirely simple yet, though, because knight f3, e4 is annoying. My knight doesn't have great squares to go to. Unless I get fancy, play d4, that opens up g5. So part of what I'm thinking, like, I want to play this move. I want to open up g5 ideas. I then look for the tactic because I already understand I want my development. I want this knight out. I don't just look for fancy tactics. Well, sometimes I do. But, yeah, e4, I think d4 was really strong there. Oh, not d4 now, because then the pawn just takes and we're actually opening up position. I think we go d3, knight g5, going to be extra secure, but also just opening up this bishop. Okay, let's start with c3, because if I move this bishop, queen b4 check, and going after my pawn would be a bit annoying. We have knight g5 now. Now my pieces are a little bit more open. Let's start bringing them to the party. And Hans, I don't know what that was. I had a threat. I had a threat. Look, this is my threat. This is a little checkmate. Thank you for the game. I thought that was still... I mean, that felt like still a game, but... I guess we just win. Okay. Aziz. Okay, 1100. We're moving up in the world. We are moving up. And we have a Borg defense. That's what this G5 is called. Not ideal. Usually not considered, okay, not usually, always considered not a great opening, but sometimes it's fun. Gonna take control of the center, of course. Keep it solid. My king's there, gotta keep it solid. Continue the development. And Now what? Because g4 somewhere could be annoying, like against this knight. I don't want to play h3 to just deal with that, and then... Yeah, I think I like that. Start with the h3, just to deal with those g4 annoyances, and now knight f3, like everything should be pretty happy. Okay, I'm just gonna drop my king back. The bishop, it belongs there. It's hard to find another good square for my king. In this case, I usually prefer to try and put this king somewhere just not back on its starting square. But here it's too convenient. Okay, Aziz gave me the free pawn. Development is coming together, feeling quite fantastic. Now about this point, I'm thinking a lot about tactics with the king on f7, which is just a crazy move, by the way. So knight g5 is at least a consideration, but I mean, after queen h5 check, what is there? There is take. Like, we could just be material greedy and then take f6 and go for taking on b8. We could not rush. I mean, knight g5 to open up the queen feels nice because it's a check. But it could go knight h4 and still try to open. I actually really like that. Like, really open up the queen, go after the king. Knight on the edge, but it is right there with the attack, so it should be super solid. Okay. That does remedy any discovery ideas, at least for the time being. Still thinking I might take with this pawn just to try and keep the knight out. Although taking does open up some queen f3. I have queen h5 right now. Oh. Maybe... But if I take... Could play knight f6. Then I could take the exchange. But I'm trying to go after the king. So I think let's take with the pawn. Trying to keep these pieces just a little bit more contained. And continue to basically go after this king. Okay, king drops back. So queen h5 doesn't really exist anymore. I could play queen f3. Try for some discovery ideas there. I like that. Queen f3. No respect for my discovery, huh? No respect. Okay, I'm thinking bishop h6, because if the king runs away, then this bishop's hanging. So probably bishop f7 will be the defense, but... Smell tactics. I could just play e6. Okay, that feels good. That feels good. Okay, anything else? Because I don't have to just play e6. It's pretty solid. Dude, it's too solid. Maybe it's too good. Oh, wait, knight takes. Hold on. Because I'm thinking e6, I'm threatening mate. So bishop takes h6 isn't a move. But I'm forgetting about knight takes. Actually super sneaky. Ah, my e6 fun isn't so fun. Okay, so we actually have to think about this. Thinking is so for tomorrow. Why do I have to think today? Okay, well, that is a problem. I could drop the bishop back, but I feel like I should continue that oomph and take. Now the question is, what is the follow-up? I have some ideas like queen g4, e6. I allow this knight to jump in. I could try for knight f5, and then try and sneak the queen in that way. I actually do quite like that. I mean, it's blockable with bishop g6, but then maybe it's like I move my knight here, I move the queen in, and then I drop the knight back, trying to get to e6 if the bishop goes to g6. It does feel very good. Let's start with knight check. It's more forcing to go with the check than with at least with the knight check, because knights jump like no considering to even bishop g6. Okay, so this is happening. Knight trying to jump in now, and we finally got it. Aziz did not have a defense for that. Bam, bam, and now we just let's throw some pawns. Okay, it's not just about throwing pawns. It's also, it's often good to bring the rooks into the game, and this seems like a great way to do it. Is once these pawns get rolling, we start opening up the files. Yeah, should all start coming together. Okay, now that's just a fork. We finally do lose the f6 square, though. So maybe I'm winning the war, but I lost a little bit of the battle. Okay, let's bring the other rook in. Okay, that's a free pawn. Bring the rook. Okay, we're gonna continue. You're saying you're threatening my knight. I'll defend it. Just to humor you. Just to humor you. I'm definitely not trying to attack my queen and hit you with a rook promotion. I mean, when you have a chance for a queen sack checkmate, despite being up a lot of material, you kind of still should go for the queen sack. Ooh, okay, we finally broke through against the king, but not too bad of a game. Not too bad of a game. Okay, this will be our final bot of this video, Laura. These intermediate bots have definitely been just a little bit more challenging. I think the big change is just that extra pressure in the center. Pushing pawns a little bit more to open it up. H6 is funny. This makes me want to play f4 just to prepare to solidify. Like if d5, e5. Because c5 has been played, I no longer have that e5, d4 setup. So I think I'm going to play f4. Normally I want to develop more pieces, but I think this in the long term will provide the best chance at a solid king. We get f5. Okay, I can take that. I could try and be super greedy here. Take that. Try and solidify, but I hate giving up the central control I have. So I'm not going to be tempted. Try and keep the central control. It's also take is hard to defend. I don't have too many developed pieces. If I could defend it easier, I would be a lot more tempted. Now I'm going to take with the knight because I like a lot of these squares it's hitting. And that's something that the opponent is going to have to be careful of. Okay. We have a semi-reasonable position. It's just that I can't castle. That's a bit funny. Really want to play queen h5, but g6, that queen does guard from across. So I actually have some really sneaky tactics. I'm going to go knight d5. Knight d5, if queen e6, that's a fork. And if knight d5, queen c6, I actually play bishop b5. Queen takes again a fork. So this should force the queen off of this file. Oh, Laura wasn't ready for it. Bishop b5. Give me the queen. I wanted queen h5, but I sure will take this. That'll do. That'll do. c4. Okay, let's just break it open. Your queen, your king is right there. So let's we're up material. Let's bring the pieces in. That is the drill. Queen d4 now. Queen, wait. Queen c5 check. Don't be tricked. Don't be tricked by that little king move. We're gonna check one more time, just to see where this king ends up. Yeah, we're hitting the bishop. So, computer being careful about that. Let's hit the bishop again, as well as we're gonna be hitting this rook. So some nice threats there, as well as opening up this rook, which think I'm going to follow through on. Instead of taking the pieces, I want checkmate. So let's bring another piece, the rook, in, and that now everything's falling apart. And rook d8. Ah, let's go. And we even finish with a brilliancy, which I'm sure. Let's just see it. Let's feel the power of bishop b5 one more time. Bishop b5. Ah! Get off that rank. All I wanted was an innocent queen h5 move. I guess it's actually really tough because even if you drop the queen back, now you're getting into, well, currently mate in 3, king d7. It wants g6, but oh, this is a much nastier checkmate. King e6, knight takes f4. Oh my gosh, I just wanted queen h5. Oh, but that's nasty. Everyone, thank you again so much for watching. I hope you all are really picking up on some of these opening principles for not just me and what I'm doing, but what are the bots? The bots improved. My king was in the center. They were breaking open the center a bit better, creating just those little bit of problems for me. And some of that was scary. Like the first game against Maria was actually, I had to be a little bit careful there. My king had a little too much fun. So, even though I'm BongClouding, some of this isn't crazy. Some of this is like, it's just following the opening principles, and doing that, whether it's a BongCloud, whatever the opening is, they're true. These are good things to learn. So hope you are learning. Hope this is helping. Hope to catch you next time as I continue my BongCloud bot run.